At what point do you think an organization needs to start thinking about maybe this optimization problem, right? Like you've solved a business problem, let's say might be complaints classification, which may be relevant in the finance sector. You've done it using maybe a large model, it kind of works. At what point do you recommend that companies look into the open, smaller model and specialize them right from the start, or later when the business case is proven? What's the recommendation here?
I mean, for a use case like this, I mean, right from the start, right? Because if you try to use a proprietary model available via an API, so first off, you're probably not allowed to do that, right? You're probably not allowed to send your customer complaints over to a third party that's going to process it, maybe store it, maybe train models on top of it. So maybe you don't have a choice. But the thing is, open models have been doing this for years and like much better than anything proprietary, and for a much cheaper cost. That's why CFM was reporting 80 times cheaper costs, right? Because they're using an encoder model, a much smaller model. They customizing it so that it works really well for their use case, like this customer complaint classification. And yeah, so I think like for these type of use case, you just right away.
Cool. So there's a bit of a danger when you've got a hammer, everything looks like a nail, isn't it? But it's worth going back to first principle and, what's the problem
Yes,
you're solving
yes,
and can you do it
yes.
a simple
There's
way?
like an adoption curve of technology, right? It's like this famous curve. And I think like a lot of companies sort of woke up to the potential of AI with the ChatGPT moment, right? It was something new they didn't expect. Of course, like all the people who had been working on AI for years, like saw it coming and understood it wasn't like something novel. But what was novel is that all of a sudden, like great consumer product, everybody starts using it and talking about it, right? So that's why we had like this adoption curve, and I think now we're in the part of the curve where companies are starting to understand and internalize this technology so that they can integrate that with the general way that they build technology and software.
Sure, sure. So I was gonna ask you contrarian view, but it sounds like you don't believe in this one model that solves all problems. Sounds like you're more of a believer of, specific problem, specific solution.
Yeah, and I hope that's not a contrarian view. I think Satya Nadella said about the same thing. I think Jensen Huang said about the same thing, and I think even OpenAI said things along those lines. So I think that's not really a contrarian view. It's more like what we see today in the world, right? I told you we have about 2 million public models on Hugging Face. There's the proof. But I think maybe a contrarian thing that sounds sort of mundane, but I think is powerful, is that AI is just another way of creating technology, right? We see this as this like magical new thing, and it does magical things for sure. But it is just another better way of creating technology where before we're all using software. And now we're starting to think AI first. Like, can an AI model solve this? And how can I integrate that within my technology? That has profound effects, right? Because that means that the world of building AI is a world that will be building on open source, just like previous technology generations before it. Companies need to understand and control the technology that they put out into the world. Like they can't outsource, and even less so to one central private entity. They can outsource their core technology and send to them all about them that is special, which is their data, their customer data, their knowledge, right? That needs to be something that they control, that they host, that they govern, and that's only possible with open models and an open source.
Super. So companies of today protect your data. That's proprietary. That's what makes you special. Put the guardrails and governance around it.
Yes, yes. Take control of your own AI. I think it's really important that companies have this builder culture and approach around AI, right? Don't be a consumer. It's like this old Facebook line, right? If you're not the customer, you're the product. Like, don't be the, or is it the other way around? I don't remember. Anyways, what I'm saying is that you really need to take a builder culture and approach to AI. And yes, you can sort of build your own models. Yes, you can host your own models. Like, we have all the different bricks out there. There was this view maybe a year ago that the closed models were so much better than the open models, but that got blown out of the water, right? We've had DeepSeek R1, we've had the latest Quen models, and that's true not just in LLMs. That's also true with image, and that's also true for embeddings and all these different things. So yeah, you can build, you can do it, and maybe get your house in order a little bit.